Welcome to the Game Changer Podcast. I'm your host, Elijah Bryant, and I got a great guest with us today, Amber. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great. It's a pleasure to be with you, bro. How you doing?
I'm doing great as well. So we're going to start it right from the beginning. You know, what were you doing before Wholesaling Land?
I was working for Publix, man. I was working at the warehouse selecting. If anybody's familiar with that, it's pretty much like picking orders for the stores. And I was getting paid by performance. So at that time, I was making $32 to $35 an hour. You know, I thought that was bread. I mean, it was bread to me. Getting paid every week, making anywhere from like $1,200, $1,300 a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's take it back a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. Where were you born and raised?
Long Island, New York.
Long Island, New York.
Strong Island, stand up.
How was that like?
Man, honestly, man, it was rough. You know, my mom, she struggled a lot, you know what I'm saying? Just kind of like, I don't know if y'all familiar, but, you know, they have shelters up there and stuff. So we never really had, like, a sense of stability always. Like, we had a crib one moment, living in the shelter the next moment. So life was just kind of, like, crazy. Yeah. Really, like, oodles and noodles, baby. Like,
damn, like, really in the trenches. Like, real deal. On the stove, oodles and noodles, like
for real, facts. Okay. Initially my mom just was like, you know what, I want to give my kids a better opportunity, and she moved us here to Florida, and I went to high school. I went to middle school in Lakeland. I went to high school. I graduated from Lakeland High School, and then right off the rip, I was like, I ain't going to no college because I ain't going for that school.
So you ain't even go to college?
I didn't even think about it. Like, wow. I was thinking about just debt. You know, a lot of people go to college and all you hear about is debt or student loans. And I'm like, I'm already poor. Why I'm going to go to college and just go straight to work? So from high school to work, I worked for 6 years.
So where'd you work at straight out of high school?
Publix. Straight Publix. That in Polk County, well, in Lakeland, that's like, Publix was the biggest thing. They were like the biggest chain, and everybody I knew at Publix like had good cars, had money. I swear, like, people were retiring millionaires at that time. You know, it's harder now, but people were like, yeah, man, Publix, you're a retired millionaire, 20 years, blah, blah, blah. And like all my family members that were here was like, go to Publix. If you want to make something like yourself, go work for Publix. So
talk about like mindset, right? So you're growing up and you're hearing like Publix is the next best thing. Like you have to kind of go to Publix. If you go to Publix, you made it, right?
Yeah, literally.
That's a mindset.
Yeah,
so talk about that. Like, how did that mindset, evolve you, or do you feel like it made you digress?
I think Publix shaped me well, honestly. Publix was great when it came to like their employees evolving, and then they gave you opportunities where it made you feel like a sense of you were in control of your money. So like I said, selecting, and you telling me, man, the harder you work, the more you get paid. It was like, damn, I have an opportunity to make more money, and you ain't gonna stop me from making however much money I can make.
Oh, so they allow you to...
Yeah, so everything you did in selecting was based off your performance. So the faster you work, the faster you pull the order, the more bread you make. And I was knowing people making $40 an hour. I said, oh shit, I need to go try this out.
Okay, so Publix is... Okay, so it's commission based. So you already got that, like, I have to perform. The better I perform, the more money I make. Yes, okay.
Yes.
So you was doing that for 6 years?
6 whole years.
What got you into, what was the next thing? Like,
so initially I got miserable. Like my 5th year, like mid-5th year, I was like, man, this shit's so easy, it's redundant. I feel stupid as fuck. Like I hit a ceiling, you get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm making good money, but I ain't learning shit. Like I know this shit, like, go to sleep, wake up, and I can do it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I was like, ultimately, I was talking to my homeboy. I was like, bro, we do this shit every day. Like, you don't get tired of doing this shit. And I said, our schedules are so demanding. You don't want to go see other shit, do other shit besides being in a warehouse all day. No, man, they paying us really good. I said, well, shit, I don't think I got too much longer, bro.
So, like, because the good money, right, it kind of traps you. It makes you feel like this is it.
Yeah.
And that's what happens to most people. They get trapped into that. not knowing that there is something greater, right?
Right.
There is something that you could pursue and potentially do way better than what you was making in Publix.
Yep. Yep.
That's wild to me.
That's crazy, man. I said the same thing, you know what I'm saying? So at that time, I really thought $35 an hour, but I was just one of those people like, bro, I just want my time. You know what I'm saying? You know, the money will come, but ultimately I want my time. Like, I don't want to be here every day. If I want to go hang out with this person or go to, I don't want that, you know what I'm saying, to owe me or whatever. So one day I just walked down to my manager. I said, this is about the dumbest shit I probably think I'm ever do. But I gotta take a chance on myself. You know what I'm saying? So I went down there, I told my manager, I said, look, man, I said, I'm so miserable, it's not even funny. Like, you see me coming in here now, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. We're supposed to be here at 5 a.m. And he was like, man, listen, you're like one of our greatest performers. Like, you know, you're really gonna go out here and it's not too much other jobs that's gonna pay you $35 an hour. And I was like, well, I'll figure it out. And he was like, man, I'm just telling you, most people I see leave, they come back. And I said, I promise you I won't come back. And I ain't been back since.
I'm telling you.
I ain't been back since.
That's what's up. So like, one, you left before having something guaranteed.
Facts. No, like no, like I didn't know nothing. Like I really just said to myself, like, if I can come in here every day and perform for these people that's paying me on the payroll, why can't I do that for myself outside of this? So I just had that mindset, and then I just kind of like met a lot of people. It was like, man.
What was that next step? Like you tell your manager you're done. Now you off the clock. You kind of.
I ain't gonna lie. I got off the clock. I clocked out. I went home. I said, "Fuck."
Did you have a savings? Like. Okay,
so with Publix, you know, they have a 401k. They have stocks or whatever. So at that time, I checked my balances or whatever, and I had like 35,000. From just me like selecting and having stocks or whatever. So every quarter or whatever, they let you pull out either your stocks or from your 401k. So I was like, shit, this will hold me until I figure out, you know, what I'm gonna do. So shit, I snatched it out and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna take my bread and leave. You know what I'm saying? I worked for it. So after I left Publix, I'm not even gonna lie, I job hopped for a little bit and I said, man, fuck that. Don't even do it. You get what I'm saying? So what I did was, the first thing that came across, like I'm just sitting at home one day and all I see was wholesaling. Like it was just like it was just on YouTube. It was random.
Instagram, TikTok, like YouTube. it was just
YouTube. Like I used to like be so into YouTube, so I just kept seeing wholesaling. So I'm like, bro, what the hell is wholesaling? And at that time, it was like trying to wholesale houses. And I'm like, if anybody know, that's like the hardest, to me, it was like the hardest thing. So, but
wait. Wholesaling houses was hard. Did you try it?
Man, I tried it for like a month, and I was like, this shit is dead. Especially when I was like trying to figure out the ARVs, and I couldn't really, I didn't know anybody in the area or around that was actually wholesaling houses successfully. So I just gave that up.
Okay, so what made you jump into land?
What happened was I had met a good group of real estate people in Auburndale, Florida. They was flipping houses, whatever. And
was this on the meetup.com or?
No, I just literally, what happened when I was trying to wholesale houses, I was cold calling. You know, so I was cold calling investors like, hey, you know, I see a house over here. You know, I see that you're advertising that you're buying around town. I'm just, you know, trying to figure out if you're interested in this property over here.
Okay.
Whatever. So I didn't even know, you know, that his best friend was in the room of that call. And one day he was just like, hey, we flip houses. Just come to Auburndale and just come chop it up with us.
Wow.
So I didn't even think nothing of it.
That's from taking action.
That's it.
You took action, which led you to a connection.
Yeah.
Which brings you now into that room.
Yeah.
So what happened next after?
So when I went to Auburndale, you know, I hung out with them for like weeks at a time, and it was just literally showing me everything, like free game, how to flip a house, how to, you know, go in there and, you know, show, like just basically get the numbers, and how I can literally flip a house with little to no money if I wanted to use their money.
That's wild. So I want to tell the viewers, right? She made a connection by moving forward, taking action. When I first came out here, right, I went on meetup.com. I was going to the back Facebook pages, and I was going to meetups, and this is how I actually really got into wholesaling land, from that circle, from the meetup. So this is why you have to take action and go to these meetups, network with people, get around the same people that's doing the same thing and has the same goal on progressing with Wholesaling Land.
Correct. So right. Yep. And then basically from there, it was like I told them, they was like, do you really want to flip a house? I was like, nah, they just take too much work. You know what I'm saying? Especially the money you're putting into it and then waiting on a return or whatever. And then one of my good friends was like, well, you know, I know this girl named Derby on Instagram. You know, she posted a 100K deal. Why don't you check that out? And I was like, what? 100K? Hold on now. It's different. Yeah. And she was like, yeah, check her out. You know, she's doing consultations right now. Just hit her up and see how that goes. So I literally, you know, hit up Derby and I was like, hey, are you available? Yeah. And took that consultation and it just went from there.
So from that consultation, like what you learned, she laid it all out?
Yeah, so in the consultation, like, she was very fluent, like, literally just put everything out there. She didn't gatekeep. She literally kind of, like, did the whole overview with no flaws, and you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It was like, wow, for somebody to just give that much in an hour, it's like, I think you might be on to something or whatever. Yeah. So she was like, you know, I am also doing a mentorship or whatever. So if you want to really go into more detail and feel like, you know, this is something that you're interested in, just let me know. So after that meetup, me and my homegirl, we went. I was like, man, I'm going to do it. Yeah. So I was like, F it, why not? You know what I'm saying? What do I have to lose?
Yeah, so that's the same thing with Jazz, right? You take the consultation, you get the information, and you immediately like, you know what, I'm gonna take that next step. You bought into the mentorship and like, you know, what happened after that?
So I took Derby's mentorship. It was like 6 months, but I fast tracked it for 30 days. Cause I was like, if I do 6 months, I'm not gonna do it. Like, that's just dragging it out.
So I'm glad you did that, right? Yeah. And what that does, right? If you shorten out the time frame in your mind to achieve something and do something, that's the earlier you're gonna do it, get to it, and you're not gonna procrastinate. Correct. That's what most people do.
Procrastinate.
You know?
And I was like, at that time, I'm not even gonna lie, the money that I used to do the mentorship was from COVID, pandemic, when it was giving out everybody like $1,500. So I said, shit, it ain't my money. Like, so I took the money.
Oh, you flipped the COVID money, the pandemic. That's fine.
I mean, it ain't my money, so I was like, you know, I was like, man, shoot, I'm gonna just take the money. I mean, ultimately, they gave it to me, you know what I'm saying? Why not? You know, it's kind of like when other people say OPM, I took the money. It wasn't mine, so I took the money, I took the mentorship, and it just went from there. Now, honestly, like you said, it took me about 3 months to close my first deal, and that was just me self-doubting myself, you know what I'm saying, with the information that was given to me, and just like, man, I can't.
What was self-doubt? Like, were you scared to cold call? Were you scared to?
I guess it was just like knowing that I had no experience, no background with talking to people, and then also like kind of being an introvert, you know what I'm saying, kind of like I'll talk to people, but I won't, you know what I'm saying, like initiate a conversation. Yeah. So it was like a lot of that, like, man, I don't know if I could talk to these people, you know what I'm saying? Or do I have the knowledge to really get on the phone and, you know?
Yeah, so that was stopping you, like you didn't get on the phone, or did you get on the phone and was like failing and that kind of doubted you?
It was more so text. And then the cold calling the builders. It was like, you know, you think of these people like they so higher up or something or better than you, and it's like, well, can I really have a conversation with somebody on that level? So that was kind of like taking me back. But then one day I was like, fuck it, they human, you know what I'm saying? And I'm human. They only can say no, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or, you know, tell me like, you know, we're not doing this at this time. And I just kept going, you know?
Yeah, that's what stops most people, the actually speaking to people. But what you guys need to understand is wholesaling land is way different than houses. We're not asking the condition. We're not even really getting the motivation. You know, it's finding the deal first. It's literally digging for gold and finding that gold first, picking the right markets to market to. So once you got over that fear, like what started happening?
I literally just said bump it. One day I found a lot. At this time I was in Derby's mentorship, but she was doing JVs or whatever. I tried to do a JV with Jeff, but all the deals I was getting was just like falling through. I'm like, shit. You know
like what? Was it endangered species? Like
turtles, all types of stuff. So I was like, man, I can't just catch a break. But then eventually one day I found a lot, and something just randomly was just like, man, call this builder. And I just looked up on Google a builder in Port St. Lucie. I looked him up, I called him, and when I talked to the guy, he was like super cool, like so laid back. Yeah, you know, I'm actually buying over here, this is what I'm paying, blah blah blah, if you have anything, send it to me. So I was like, man, that went too smooth, like too easy, whatever. So literally like a week later I found him something.
Damn.
I found him something, right? And I sent it to him. At this time, I sucked at negotiating, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you could have made way more money on this deal.
Way more money. I found him a deal, and I'm not even gonna lie. My first wholesale check was $500. $500.
That 500 feel like 500, or did it feel like 5,000?
It felt like 5,000. The thing about it's not coming from somebody's payroll. You get what I'm saying? It's actually coming to your business, your LLC, and it's something that you did. You know what I'm saying? That you performed on, and you got results for. So in that moment, it just was like, you know what? This shit actually works. Now I just have to do my part. You know what I'm saying? And just kind of grow within this business or whatever.
Wow, that's amazing, because it's like you actually, you know, what I think of it, right? It's like you hunting your own meal.
Scavenger hunt.
You scavenger hunting. We dogs, right?
Right.
We stray dogs. We not house dogs.
Yep.
We not getting meals prepared for us. We hunting. Like, I love that part of it. I love the chase.
Yep.
So, like, all right, so now you getting a deal, 500. What you do with that 500? You put it back in the business. You bought some Jordans. Like,
we gotta put it back in the business. Ultimately, the $500, man, I just looked at it and I was like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the process works. I just took the money and I just went back and put it back in the wheel. You know what I'm saying? Because it didn't make no sense for me to take that 500 and blow it. What is $500?
Right.
It ain't paying nothing.
Yeah.
Not, especially not in this time. So I put it back into the business, and then eventually the deals just started creeping up from 500 to 1,000 to 1,500, 2,000, 5,000. It just kept creeping up, and I was like, damn. When I see my first $5,000 check, I said, woo.
So you got that one from texting?
Texting.
Wow.
The crazy thing is, I tell a lot of people, I know a lot of people get on the phone, man, but texting was crazy. You know, like, it was just wild to me that somebody would literally sell you their property and don't even see
like,
you, look at you, or nothing.
It's crazy. Right before this interview, right, I literally got a deal for 6,000. Texting, not getting on the phone. I never spoke to the guy. Never spoke to the builder. Just emailing the builder. This game is a game changer. It's a blessing.
Yes, it
so
is.
now you getting deals consistently. We did a deal together.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So was this in the beginning, the middle? Like,
that was kind of like when we got that deal together. I think that was like kind of middle. You know what I'm saying? Still just me, still learning everything, still learning how to negotiate, still trying to learn how to kind of like finesse my way into better deals. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that I'm not leaving no money on the table. You know, if a seller is telling me like, you know, I'm firm at this, just going back to my builder and like, hey, you know, if you know, they stress that they be really liking the property. So if I can push the envelope to make more money on my end, doing things like that, just to kind of make sure, like I said, I'm not leaving money on the table. If it's more money to be made, I'm going to make it. You know what I'm saying? So,
So talk about, because I'm not sure if you remember when we was all together, you know, me, you, Derby, Jared, Jeff, DeAndre, all the land killers, right? In one household, just partying, having fun, just chilling, right? Masterminding. Like, how did you come across me, right? And how did, you know,
Yeah,
like you come across that circle.
That was the first time I ever initially, met you and I talked with you or whatever. And we talked about land and all those different things. That was the first time I kind of met everyone actually. So just hearing everybody's different perspectives of how they got into land and been successful, I kind of felt like the short thumb in the room.
For real?
Yeah. Because I mean, at that time it was like everybody was just on their different, levels and stuff like that. But the thing about it is, didn't take no ill feelings towards it. It just felt good to be around a lot of people like us winning. You know what I'm saying? Because like you don't really get to see too many black people in the same room actually successful doing things.
And it felt legendary. Now that I look back, right? Yeah. It's all of us, and we all getting deals.
Yeah.
Like most people, they see me shining, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not the only one that's out here eating. Like I'm not the only one. Trust me. It's a group of us eating from this game, this wholesaling land game.
And I think that was like the dopest thing to me. I was like, man, I've always wanted to be in a crowd where it was like black people, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, ultimately you always see the opposite, winning, you get what I'm saying? But being in a room full of black entrepreneurs, man, I just thought that was so dope. Like, looking at it like the black Scarface or something,
Right. And you know what makes it even more dope? Mm-hmm. We were all competition. And we're all competition with each other, right? Mm-hmm. But we were really collaborating, coming up with ideas on how we could get better. And okay, what's working with your business? What's working with yours? Right. Like, what are you doing for marketing? Mm-hmm. I literally, that same day, I'm not sure if you remember, because I ducked off for a little, right? Mm-hmm. I got a call from a direct mail piece, and I locked it up on that phone. Mm-hmm. Made $10,000 from that. When we all together, just being right there and picking up my phone, and it's crazy because it's like this game is really changing lives.
Yeah, it is for sure. It definitely is.
Yeah, so you also did multiple different things. That's one thing that I admire from you when I first met you, right? Mm-hmm. I know we all wholesaling land, but you was doing Airbnb, you was doing Turo. Yeah. So talk about that.
Man, that's honestly what kind of gave me breathing room to do wholesaling land, having that additional income. You know what I'm saying? Not worrying about, dang, when I'm going to get my next check, or, you know what I'm saying, am I going to be able to afford my bills and try to invest in this here, you know what I'm saying? So doing those things, man, I used to tell people all the time, man, I used to be doing Turo and have my iPad in the car with me texting people. Like you said, you just have to have that mindset to just say that nothing's going to stop me from doing what I want to do or get the money that I want to get. So I would literally be dropping off a car and I'm carrying my iPad. Like, as soon as I got money to get me an iPad, cellular device, a bigger cellular device, I can look at everything. I don't need no Wi-Fi. I take my iPad on the go and I'm just texting people, locking up deals, doing contracts on the go.
Killing two birds with one stone. Yeah. Get into it. And that's the entrepreneur mindset. Mm-hmm. You read Secrets of a Millionaire Mind?
No, I haven't yet.
Okay, I would say read that because that's kind of what I took from that, right? Mm-hmm. That's literally what I was doing. So I was reading the book and it was saying something like that, right? Mm-hmm. You got to make the best use of your time. Right. So while you doing Turo, you texting sellers, you killing that time, you saving yourself time. Mm-hmm. So now when you go back home, you could, So I feel like in that book, that's what I got from that. And that's when I was doing, when I was trying to become a real estate agent. I was making calls on my lunch break for wholesale. Like, that's what you got to do.
You got to make the best, of your time. Because if you think about it, while you sleep, somebody else is working. You know what I'm saying? So what's your excuse? There are no excuses, you know what I'm saying? So I just always said to myself, man, I got to give myself the best. The same lifestyle that I had at Publix, I want that for myself in my own business. So I just got to hustle for it.
Wow. Mm-hmm. So how are those businesses going right now?
So I'm still doing Turo on my Airbnbs. I let them go because me and my business partner, we had differences or whatever. But that's not gonna stop nothing. I'm gonna restart that up. But overall, my tours are still doing good. My cars are still doing good. Still getting rent out. Just actually had somebody, I think spring break is this week. Just pick up the charger today, so they're gonna be gone for the weekend. So you know what I'm saying. So ultimately, that doesn't stop nothing. You know what I'm saying. So And past, everybody's gonna have their highs and their lows. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You just gotta know how to maneuver and just keep going.
And just keep going.
Just keep going.
So talk about like with the content, right? So you do TikToks. Are you going to like start making content with your entrepreneur? Because I really feel like, right? And I don't want this just to be like we're giving game, but I really want like to tell you this.
Yeah.
I feel like you need to start posting more of your wholesaling side,
Yeah.
your Toro side.
Yeah.
Because years from now, your kids is going to watch this.
Right.
Your grandkids.
Right.
And not only that, you're building your brand up. I'm telling you, from building a brand could fast track everything, 10 times quicker.
Yeah, you're
like,
right.
Our day-to-day life is literally legendary because we're entrepreneurs. We're taking that risk. So if we record everything in our talents, you never know who's watching.
It's facts.
And that's how you build quicker and quicker. So I need you to start posting more. For real, for real.
You real. I mean, honestly though, I don't have a thing with, problem with posting. I guess I get from time to time, like, privacy is a thing for me too. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know who also envying you or, don't really want to see you winning and stuff like that. Really think you bragging and stuff like that. But ultimately, I did say I'm gonna pop my shit a little bit more this year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then put myself out there because I do have a lot of people around me that has seen what I've done and have seen what I've been doing. It's like, man, you have to share this with people. You don't know who you're inspiring. And even when I go to like certain places and I'm just speaking with positive mindset, they're like, man, you really helped me in certain things, or you just give me this little game, just changed my whole thought process.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? So I definitely would take heed to that for sure.
Yeah, I definitely think it because one thing, you inspired me. When I first met you, I was just doing wholesaling, right?
Yeah.
But knowing somebody else in this room that's doing wholesaling, Toro, and Airbnb, and like making bread from it, and it's working, I'm seeing it, it's like, damn, this is lit. This is
crazy
dope.
because you don't even be thinking that you're inspiring other people or they taking anything from anything that you're doing. You just be kind of like doing your own thing.
Man.
Like, just leading people will follow. You know what I'm saying? So I always tell people, I don't really try to step on nobody's toes or anything like that. I just do what I do. And if anybody comes to me with anything, I ain't a gatekeeper. Like, I share the information because I feel like blessings come back 10 times, tenfold,
Nah, you definitely, because I remember we even did a consultation because I was looking into Airbnb. I'm like, shit, I need to get into this motion too to get that, money coming in from different avenues. But that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, so it was great. It was great, man. And like I tell people, man, mindset is everything. You know what I'm saying? Don't doubt yourself. Bet on yourself, really. You know what I'm saying? Just like if you're going to go to that job and tell them you're going to clock in at that time, you should have that same feeling when you out here doing your own thing. You know what I'm saying? So apply pressure at all times. Right.
I feel like if you apply pressure, you got to play this life game on offense. You got to be aggressive. Like, nah, I'm getting it. Like, that's how you got to feel. Because once you have that mindset, the sky's the limit. And it's literally a day by day because it gets easier. Just like when you pumping up a weight, your muscle gets bigger and bigger. So when you're attacking your fears, things that you're scared of, cold calling, you're going to get better. You're building up that muscle memory. So now when you go into different projects, I know I could do anything in this world I put my mind to.
That's a fact.
Because if I could go from door dashing to where I'm at now, imagine where I could go from now to 3 years from now. You get what I'm saying? Like, life is good, man.
That's true. It's crazy, man. It's so crazy. And a lot of people don't know this also, man. I did tattoos. I'll cut your hair.
Oh,
like,
look,
one stop shop. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you just, but like you said, why not bet on yourself? Why sit there and be like, yo, I don't think I can do this. You can do whatever you put your mind to. You know what I'm saying? So I've always had that thing, like, ain't nobody gonna tell me I can't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? I might get a bunch of no's, you know what I'm saying? Or, people like, nah, I don't think you fit for that. But why not bet on yourself?
That's a fact. But we'll take it from there. I appreciate you for coming on the Game Changers. Like, tell them where can they follow you.
Y'all can follow me on Instagram, Amber Lene. Y'all can follow me on TikTok, Amber Lene. everything is Amber Lene. So if you want to see me, if you're interested in following me, y'all can add me there.
Okay, and you know, if y'all need some free game too, hit her up. She's a go-giver, you know. That's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to build people up. This is the game changers. This is the time to change your life. Don't let 2023 be that same year. Be a game changer. EDB Academy.
Yes, sir.